Hello, everybody. So we are here at episode 2 talking about fear, which is a subject not so many people like to attack or to talk about. The same like shame. That's why I love so much Brené Brown that she talked about that. I think it's amazing. So back to fear. In the last episode, I hope you watch it. If not, you have it on YouTube. You can have a look at it. We talked about what is fear, how does it manifest in your body, uh, in sensation, and the different experiences that we both have. We have many more examples to give, but what we were thinking today to talk about is okay, we know what is fear now. In general, there is somewhere located in the body. Usually, it's the first episode that happened in childhood, then it got somehow installed like a program in your body. It's there, and then every time you have another traumatic experience or there is somebody scaring you, you kind of have and the same reaction, right? We talked also about fight, freeze, flight, and the other two things that you can do, which is foam, and the other one is crumble. But today we want to focus on how fear kind of stops you to enjoy your life. I think it's important to differentiate between fear like danger, like you get you're a lion who is running after a cheetah, which is your meal for the day. And this is the example that usually people give for fear, freeze, fright, or what is the other one? I just forgot it.
Fight.
Fight. Okay. Maybe I was freezing now, who knows? And we all give the example that the cheetah freezes, right? Well, 90 to 95 to 99%, I would say, none of us is in one of this situation, right? We are in our lovely homes, warm like me now, outside it's cold, I'm inside, it's warm, I can regulate my temperature, nobody's chasing me. However, we do have other things that our body thinks is dangerous. We don't know if it's dangerous or not. I remember we were talking with Andrea before that one of the things that it was and I was saying also in the other episode, and I would like to talk a little more about it, is for me fear it's starting kind of, if it's not the dangerous one that I don't know, there is a snake or I just have that reaction and I need to jump. It's a confusion. It's not danger, it's another way of having fear of the unknown. And I remember it's happened. I think it's a spectrum also, right? So I was saying let's differentiate between a real danger and actually a healthy fear. Let's call it healthy. And it happened to me in some of the new roles I had when I got appointed to some position. As we know, all of us, we have an interesting interview, and we're so excited to start. And we are told we are going to be given all the support necessary. And then guess what? You go there, you are put in front of the computer. They tell you in big lines what you have to do. And for me, for example, you become suddenly responsible for 100 people all over the world that do different things, and you are brought to situations that people, one wants to fire the other, one is beating the other, or things like that, and somehow you need to intervene. For me, it was from an HR business partner point of view, making sure you know the laws, from that country, you know the regulation, and you also know how to calm them down. And nobody's helping you. You don't know the country. You've never been there. So what do you do?
What
And
did you?
what did I do? Well, for me, it was, I still remember it was years ago, but it was interesting that what I did, I didn't have who to ask. It was international law. There were foreigners in another country. So they weren't even in their original country. So I had to go across country to check the law. And I had no idea what to do. So the first reaction was like, I kind of got shocked, which is, I think, a feeling from my childhood when I don't know how to do what to do. I think it kind of freeze. And then, because I still needed to give an answer. It was a new role. Of course, I wanted to perform. I couldn't just take my stuff and say, okay, this is my first week. I give up, I go home. No, no, no. I need to prove things. I really wanted this job. I was happy with it. I went in the toilet and I spent a lot of time there in the toilet. I still remember it. It was quite a small toilet, so there were only two toilets there, two stalls. So I spent a lot of time hoping nobody's going to come and trying to regulate, self-regulate. I didn't know what self-regulation was then. I didn't know what was my baseline. What does it mean for me to be okay? Because it was always this. I was choosing kind of jobs that I liked to be challenged, and this was maybe a little too much challenge. So I spent a lot of time in the toilet, and then I took a long break, and then I took another break, and then I said, okay, I have some hours until the other people in that country, because we had a differentiation of hours until they will be online, and I will need to give an answer. And then I start looking online, and I start looking at different things. But the battle that was inside, that I actually felt like the world is crumbling around me. And if you think about it, it was just a work situation. And it's fascinating how we are wired to go back to whatever we did when we were child, and we didn't have all the knowledge, we didn't have all the support, we didn't know we can ask for help, and you just go back there and you're like, so what do I do now? It feels like life or death situation. And of course it wasn't for me. So after I went, I calmed myself down in the toilet, I talked myself out of it, and I remember, you know what, I had an interview, I got here, so clearly I have some experience and I know what I'm talking about, so I will find a solution. But I had to talk with myself. I had to get myself out of that, and I think that's hard, because one of the things for this episode is, well, what does fear do to you and doesn't allow you to do? I think it stops you trying and thriving. I think thriving will be the best word to describe this, because if you don't have any dialogue with yourself, if you don't talk with yourself to be your best supporter, it doesn't matter who is telling you what. Maybe you listen for a minute or two and then, okay, I will do like that, but then you come back to you and you're going back to this frightful state, and you don't allow yourself to try more. You don't allow yourself to try for the position that you want in a company, or to try for, I don't know, to leave your partner that you're not happy with, or to leave the relationship, or to kind of starting having healthy boundaries with people, to say no. Do you say no when, how many times, Andrea, did you say yes when you wanted to say no?
A lot of times. And the way you talked about it felt like a wave to me. So it started slow and then it went up and up and up and it reached a certain height and you started to go down. And when you started to go down and you calm yourself, you actually started to talk to yourself. And that's a question for all of you. Do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Because, like Adina said, if you try to talk to yourself when you're up high, when the emotion is really big, do you hear yourself? Do you hear anybody? My guess is the answer is no. So it's a we call it self-awareness. There is a big talk about self-awareness, and we will talk in our videos a lot about self-awareness because it's a big subject for us. But it's the emotional curve that goes. You have a situation, you start feeling fear, and then the fear goes up and up and up and there is a a threshold. That's depending on everybody, and then it goes down and down and down, and then the conversation can start because your ears open from so much emotion and you actually start to listen. And this Adina, it's amazing what you did, and that's, I think it's an example for everybody. Have you managed to do that in your lifetime? Because if you did, I would suggest anchoring those moments because that's a huge success, not letting go. What fear does is limiting your horizon. So you don't see anything past it. Uh, you stop there and you don't even dare to look further. Like Adina said, position, job, relation, anything basically. New foods, a dialogue with somebody who comes into the office every once in a while and you kind of like them, but should you talk to them because you'll never see them again? What's the point? Well, the point is maybe you will learn something new. What's stopping you? That fear of the unknown. So there are many, many, many kinds of fear. And I think the point both of us are trying to make is that uh, they are waves. They come like waves. They go like waves. If you know yourself enough and you have a dialogue with yourself, you can talk yourself out of it, convince yourself out of it, or ask for help or do something rather than stopping and then, I don't know, noticing other people who do different things rather than staying in one spot. And I think that's it for this episode, more or less. Do you have anything to add, Adina?
Yes, I think what I wanted to add is there is a nice book written, Feel the Fear, then do it anyway. If it's dangerous, of course, if you're in a danger position, like, I don't know, threatened physically or something, of course, run away, do whatever it's the best solution for that moment, or just stay, or, you have like a bear, which I actually live next to bears and I could see them every day going to the bin to eat. And of course, you have other reaction. But in most of the time, it's kind of the body or life telling you there is something after that. And I think my biggest lesson is feel the fear and go through it. See what it's trying to tell you. For me, it was just in that episode in that toilet, and it wasn't the only one. I had other, but in time it kind of diminished. It's okay. What is it trying to tell me that I don't know? Okay, I don't know anything. I don't know that. I don't have any control. Yes, I lost control. I have no idea what's my next step. Fine, it can happen. What's the next step? Go through that. I didn't give up. I didn't run away. And it was funny because I was hiring people who weren't after in some of the episode in some of the position. They were going out after 1 or 2 days, and I was like, now I understand because you can be so scared that you don't think you are capable to take yourself to the next stage. You don't trust yourself. That's the reality. You don't trust yourself. It doesn't matter anybody around you what they say, but you don't trust yourself. So I be your advocate and move on. For me, it was amazing experience, and I had other and other, and I progressed. So I was quite proud of me. I wasn't proud of me on that moment. It was shitty. I didn't ask for help. I didn't have who to ask for help. I didn't know how to ask for help, and I felt alone and small.
And
It's
that's, I
normal.
think, normal, and we all have done this. And I'm sure you have your own story of going through that.
Put it in
And
the
there,
comments. We're
yeah,
curious to know more about your stories.
share it, drop us an emoji or some sort of comment if you resonate with any of this. Um, what my takeaway from all of this, and I hope yours too, is that fear does not have to be your enemy. Fear is just an emotion, and like every emotions, it comes and goes. Of course, there is a peak, there is a beginning, there's a peak, and there is a coming back from it. Uh, but it's up to you to deal with it, and it's a process. So all of us, while growing up, we learned to manage it to a more or less extent. So tell us about that. See you in
And
the
we'll
next.
come back in
Yeah.
the next episode. Bye.
Bye.